So before we go ahead and get your cymbals out, we need to set up the hi-hat cymbal stand. Now it's a little different to the other cymbal stands because it has, as you can see, a pedal which we use to open and close the hi-hats. And it's really quite simple how we attach the pedal. You're going to open out the cymbal stand the same way that you did with the other cymbal stand and with the snare drum stand. So open the legs out, and you need the pedal to touch the floor. So you need to have the legs open enough so the pedal is touching the floor. And it's really quite a simple design. You're just going to clip these metal prongs, pinch them, and there's two holes there, one on either side of the base, and it just clips in quite simply like that. So once you've got your hi-hat stand base set up, now we'll begin to look at the hi-hats themselves and how you can set them up. Once you've got your hi-hat stand base set up, you'll notice that with the stand you'll also find a piece of tubing like this, which will have a sort of cradle on the top. That's where the bottom hi-hat is going to sit. You'll also have a long thin rod like this, and then you'll also have the hi-hat clutch, which is the thing that holds the top hi-hat. Okay. Now the first thing you'll want to do is get the rod that I mentioned earlier, long thin rod, and you're just going to screw that into the corresponding screw in the base of the hi-hat stand. As you can see, it just screws in there. Might take a while to get all the way in. Now once you've done that, you're going to take the piece of tubing, which I mentioned, and that's going to go on top of the rod and down. Now you want this to be about the right height for you to play your hi-hat cymbals. We'll discuss that in a moment. So once you've got the hi-hat cradle in there, you're going to want to put your bottom hi-hat on there. Now when your hi-hats come, the chances are that they will say top or bottom hi-hat on the cymbal itself. But that's not the case with all cymbals. Some hi-hat cymbals will not say which one is the top hi-hat and which one is the bottom hi-hat. If that is the case, check which one is heavier and thicker. The heavier, thicker hi-hat will be the bottom hi-hat, and the lighter, thinner cymbal will be the top hi-hat cymbal. Okay, so you're going to take the bottom hi-hat cymbal, which I have here, and just place that over the rod and onto the hi-hat cradle. The top hi-hat, as I mentioned before, the final piece of the hi-hat stand is this, what we call the clutch, the hi-hat clutch. Now, the way this works is you'll have basically a screw which lots of various bits of metal and felt screw onto. Okay, so you're going to take the bottom piece of metal and the first felt, and you're going to put the top hi-hat cymbal in between this felt and this felt here, okay, to keep the cymbal protected. So that will be, once you've done that, it will look something like this. Okay, and now that's ready. That's ready just to put on top, and you're good to go. Now looking at that, it looks like it's probably a little bit too high for me, because if I hit the crash cymbal, it's going to hit the hi-hat when it goes down. Okay, so I need to move that a little bit lower, and that should be okay. So once you've done that, you're going to want to lift the top hi-hat up by about 1 centimetre or so for this at this stage, and now your hi-hat is ready to go.